So what does it mean by one always have to store the breath at the lower abdomens, and in fighting one must not breathe with the chest? Now, it turns out that if one trained this, if one trained this kind of breathing and this type of breathing, or this type of breathing as described, it turns out that in today's language, it means that one needs to have a proper posture to have a proper lower abs breathing. And it also means that the bracing involved, or in other words, the handling of intra-abdominal pressure inside out, and the muscle strength here outside in involved, because it is a bracing. So your intra-abdominal pressure is inside out, and your muscle surround here is outside in, which is actually, if you look at this, at this part, human body do not have this big, huge muscle or anything to support it, this part of the spine, which is in your core part. You have to rely on the intra-abdominal pressure. You know, this is like it has to work with your diaphragm and pelvic floor muscle, and then your muscle from your body with all this intra-abdominal pressure, in order to be able to handle this part of the body. And that is on your bracing. So, in other words, this is saying one need to breathe deeply and also be able to brace, which means that one need to be able to handle the intra-abdominal pressure in today's language. Okay. So with this, all this dantian stuff, you know, the xing qi, you see this is dantian stuff, be the qi or the breathing, or which is in here, union in the dantian stuff. You need to have that training. And in today's training, today's language, it is actually the proper posture, proper breathing, proper intra-abdominal pressure handling, and proper bracing. So only with this, you'll be able to handle this. You'll be able to handle this and execute the sword strike art, which is the base of Wing Chun. So this is the very fundamental or very core of Wing Chun. And as we know here, the ancient address this point, the core handling, need to be able to handle the breath, the 360-degree breathing, the stability of the core, so that you'll be able to have the stability of the torso. Only that way you'll be able to implement this. So that's why today we can check it scientifically on the natural deep lower abs breathing activation, the 360-degree breathing, the large amplitude of the breathing, the intra-abdominal pressure, core stability, heart rate, all sort of stuff based on the today's sport science or sport medicine. We can verify if you develop this kind of thing, or this kind of thing, or this kind of thing, or what it is referred to in this 1850s manual, what will it show you in terms of the scientific verifications? So we know the ancient know what they are talking about, and it is in the same directions with today's sport science and sport martial art training, or today's martial art training scientifically. Now, from here, we also see that this type of handling of the leg and so forth do not be able to produce those type of results as the ancient. So we know that the ancient is proper. Whatever the practice in the past 130 years on this is the chest breathing. Again, it violating this thing in the fighting. You say when you fight, you never want to breathe with your chest. So it's violating the teaching of the ancient as soon as you stand this way, because your breath is not going down to the lower abs due to your body create a hindrance on it. And if you do not address this issue on the proper posture for proper breathing and the proper handling of intra-abdominal pressure and your muscle here, you will not be able to brace, and thus your body will not be able to act as one piece for the shoot in. For the shoot in, which you can test it out like with the exogeny. You need this part to be able to handle it. So again here, you need that part, that torso stability and your breathing handling in order to execute this. And for that, mean that only with this, your entire body will be shoot out with high momentum and you'll be able to accelerate. So that is the design specifications in the ancient. Okay, we know what it is. So as in the real time, we can check today scientifically whether the ancient is telling us the truth or not. And we know right away you clamping the knee like in today's Wing Chun stance, you are not going to get that, what the ancient talking about, and you are not going to perform like today's in the sports science or the sports martial arts or the today's modern martial art, which is based on sports. So, for example, the 1850 Shiu Lim Tao, at the beginning, one need to handle this. Get the breathing proper, get the intra-abdominal pressure handling proper before one can start to practice the Shiu Lim Tao. So an example is like this. So you start build out the breathing and the pressure, and then only that after that you move your hand according to your entire body, your core and your torso stability. And of course, your breathing. Every breath, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, and it all is one piece. So according to the ancient, this is how it need to be done. So once one do this, practice on this in the real life, in the, say, sparring or fighting, all this carry over. So it never is something like this, clamping the knees and this. It never is like this, where the body is holding somewhere, the breathing, and it's not pay attention to, and then you just pay attention to the hand techniques, those kind of stuff. So we do know what it is. So as a documentary, we know today in America what it is going on. And that's the reason why I wrote all those books, which is actually transfer the contents, which is I have shared with you, into all those books of mine. And that's how we transfer the Chinese culture or the ancient Wing Chun culture or the contents of ancient Wing Chun to America. So with this way, it is objective. Everybody is equal. It's based on evidence, and it is based on scientific. No more the claim of this is the secret, this is the order, this is the most authentic, this is magic, legend, or shortcut, or whatever. It becomes a standard education backed up by history, record, and science. Because only that way, then we clearly know what is going on. And the people who study it will clearly know what is going on. No longer, hey, because a movie star doing this in his show, then everybody do this. Well, you know that for this, scientifically, it doesn't work. And historically, it doesn't prepare you for the fighting. Scientifically, you have no handling of this intra-abdominal pressure and your breathing. Thus, you will not be able to handle your strength and not be able to implement what the ancients is teaching, the short strike. And also, one thing is very important is often when people say, well, you know, Wing Chun is a better evolution of Shaolin. Well, right now we know that the single part of this handling of the breathing, intra-abdominal pressure, the core stability, it never exists in past 130 years since 1890s writing of Wing Chun in China. It never exists. In 1850s, it exists, but after that, it never exists. It's lost. That's why there is no training on this, which is today, it is a big part of the modern martial arts, modern sports science, modern sports, your core stability and your breathing. So this is what I like to document in the history. we know what it is. At least in America, we are really clear. We have all this evidence here. We know how the things work or what is not working. Now, of course, this is like a college education, like you take a class. You need to learn what the content of the class is by the time you finish that class. You have a major. In order to get a degree on that major, one needs to really take all the classes. And when one is offering a class, a course, one needs to know which part of or what type of content is that course offer. It is not just, oh, I do my Xiu Lim Tao. Well, if you do the Xiu Lim Tao, you know there's many things like your intra-abdominal pressure, your lower abs breathing, your handling of your leg, because if you don't handle your leg properly, you will not be able to get that. So you have to handle your physical, your body, your breathing, so many things. And everyone is a class. It's like you go to a engineering college, then you have to take so many different courses to cover the content of engineering. You cannot say, well, I just mimic doing Xiu Lim Tao. Well, if you just mimic doing Xiu Lim Tao, like many people, well, can one pass this thing? Can one pass this thing? If one cannot pass this thing, meaning one will not be able to do this, meaning one will not be able to satisfy what the ancient is teaching and satisfy what the science is talking about, which is the human body, meaning that the handling of the human body. So this is the truth we know today. It is not something easy. It's not like a religion. It is like a university's major on a certain area. And so I want to leave this with you. So to study Wing Chun properly, it will be like going to a university. You need to have the prerequisites to take the exam, make sure that you can really learn, and then you got to learn all the things, have all the examinations to verify you really learn it. And that's how it has to be. It has the quality, like a university can produce quality student or quality graduates. I myself have tried for my entire life, try to give free educations. Well, let me share with you. It doesn't work. 6 months ago, actually 7 months ago, I opened up a class for free to teaching the S21. And after 7 months, only about less than 10 people get it. And then I have another group on Wing Chun technical support group. People really never take me serious, pay attention or following the instructions. At my home, start decades ago, I have tried to teach for free. Nobody really cares. Nobody can learn. So with my experience, what I found out is in order to have a high standard and good quality Wing Chun, development or Wing Chun professional, one need to be like in the university. You need to show that, like in university, you take the entrance examinations, show your willingness to learn, and you need to pay for it because information doesn't come free. The instructor experience doesn't come free. And if you go to Harvard, you have to pay for a lot of money because there's high quality stuff. And then you learn high quality things. Then when you graduate, you have this high quality standard, like a graduate from Harvard, and thus your practice get high pay because this is an expert. That's the only way this Wing Chun and traditional Chinese martial arts or Chinese culture can continue on. Follow the Western university type of teaching. So that's why I never want to give a free education anymore. I close all my group, try to help. I'm pretty disappointed actually. So it is better to go like to the college. You want to go to that class, you pay the money, you get to the class. If you don't listen to the professor, you don't do your homework, you get kicked out. And only those who is professional and they learn, they be able to graduate. It's not about not human. It's about this is the only way human can learn, or else it doesn't work. There's Wing Chun educations, which I understand. Okay, even you teach for free, people don't take it serious. So this is what I like to share with you. So yes, as you see so many details here, we have already transferred all this in America. And because I want to make it so that it is a public knowledge, that's why it is in all my books in Amazon. Make it so make it in a very textbook-like price, so everybody who is serious can get the book, and each book is like a course. You want to learn about the qi and different physiological states. You want to learn about the breathing. You want to learn about momentum. Every book, especially is special in a topic. So when one actually really say, for example, this restricting Wing Chun, one after one really learn this thing, one know about the momentum, about the hand techniques and so forth. If one want to learn about the breathing, one need to learn this. And in fact, I have do experiment. I have taught classes. Every book, I have one class. And actually, many Wing Chuners in around the world have take the class, and so they learn the content in say 3 months, the subject in 3 months. You want to learn about the short strike momentum, there's 3 months. And you want to learn about breathing and so forth, there's 3 months. So doing this way is like the college, like the university. There is no long string attached. You take the class, you master whatever in the class, you graduate, you took the class with you. It's like in engineering school and all this kind of thing. So I experiment with that, and that is much better than a traditional way of studying in a school. You keeping repeat something, but you really don't know what is the content. You just following a teacher for a lifetime, but you don't know what it is. So as in the university, if one take the class, they know they have it. They have studied it. If they don't, they know what they are missing.